Hello friends, today I am going to be discuss about effective managerial communication. Before starting the communication, I would like to focus on why this communication is an important for everyone. So when we are in the competitive era and being a academicians or the employee, if you are not going to be connect with the people, you are not able to develop the productivity and the profitability, my dear. So far, when we talk about the business is an economic activity, and all the economic activity is related to the revenue generation, the profit maximizations, right? So far in the organization, there must be the requirement of communication. So today's topic is effective managerial communications. Why it is an important, I will show these things in the next schedules and the slides, but the questions is, what is managerial communication? You see here, the process of managerial communication is what allow us to interact with the other peoples. Without it, we would be unable to share knowledge or experiences with anything outside of ourselves. So the common form of managerial communication includes speaking, writing, your gestures, touch, and you see the broadcasting. With the help of the managerial communication, we are going to be connected with the people inside the organization. See, so what managerial communications are performing best? So on the basis of the managerial communication, you see it's sharing the information. The first you have to see here, share information means managers convey critical data to their employees, and on the basis of that, we are going to be develop the productivity of the organizations. So inside the organization, we are sharing ideas with the managerial communications. Use many channels like verbal, written, digital channels we are using for the managerial communications. If we are not going to be used, we are not able to communicate our ideas, our thoughts. So far, that is the important for the communications. Managerial communication motivates and inspires. So who is going to be motivated? If your boss is communicating to you, then what is happening? That means the peoples are engaged the workforce inside the organizations. That means managerial economics, sharing informations, share ideas, use many channels, motivate and inspire the people. If you are not communicating, the people are demotivated in the organization. And if they are demotivated, how they can develop the productivity, my dear? So far, that is very important for the system. See, these slides you have to see effective communication between people inside the organization. People are discussing with each other, right? Why they are discussing? They are discussing on some issues. They are sharing these ideas. They are talking about how we can develop the productivity of the organization, how we can success in the near future, how I can implement our mission properly. For that, there must be the requirement of the communications. So this is very, very important. If the peoples are communicating with each other, maybe the new ideas, new solution will come, and that will be helpful for the organization. Right? So managerial communications is important for every organization, either a small organization, either large organization. You see, managerial communication refers to the process of exchanging the information. So when we talk about the information connected with the data, I am telling you one models here. The data converted into information, and that information converted into knowledge, and that knowledge converted into the behavior, and behavior develop the business. So for managers and their team members, stakeholders and other departments within the organization, they all are communicating. So my dear, without communication, you cannot share your ideas, your thoughts, what the mission of the organization, what the vision of the organization. We cannot implement properly without the communication. So far, managerial communication is very, very important for the organization. So we have to connect with the people with the help of managerial communication. In next slides, you see, there are different types of managerial communication inside the organization. Interpersonal communication. if we are connecting with the people, those who are inside the organization, that is the interpersonal communication. If we are not interpersonally knowing the organization, you know, human is treated as a resource and every employee is a internal customer. And if they are not satisfied with your organization, then you cannot achieve success of your organization. Our main motto, our main business is to create the customer and maintain the customer profile. For that, there must be the requirement of interpersonal communication. The another thing is organizational communications. What is organizational communication? The questions arises. There are from the top to bottom, bottom to top, there are the levels of the organization. If we are not communicating, अगर हमने किसी से बात ही नहीं करी, they cannot be feel the proper कि वो हमारे साथ आए, right? So that is the important. To make the good decision, there must be the organizational communication is required. So the formal communication. Normally, what is happening inside the organization? We are formally connected with each other, memos like letters, this thing. So this is the formal communication. Informal communication also going on side by side. Verbal communication, when we talk to the people. Why we are talking in the organization? Everything is related to the unity of the directions. Whatever we are talking inside the organization, it is only for the developments of the organization. So the people, if they are not talking to each other, how they can know, how they can share their ideas. So for that, there must be the important for the verbal communication. Written communications also, downward communications also, upward communication, horizontal communication. So these are the types of managerial communication. When the questions arises here, why these things is important? So we are here, in the next slide you have to see key aspects of managerial communication. That means it is clear messaging. So what the communication said? It's convey message clearly and concisely. Active listening. So paying attention to understanding the needs and concerns of the others also, because in the organizations many peoples are working and their expectation is different. There are different hierarchy in the organization. If we are not going to listen to our bottom level employee, we cannot achieve the productivity of the organization. So it's a duty of the manager, duty of the top authority. They must listen to each and every one, and then they know, yes, what should be the right thing for the organization. So for that, you have to go with the feedback. Feedback is also a part of the managerial communication, providing constructive feedback to team members. We cannot lonely do the things. We cannot run organization as a single person. So there must be the requirement of huge human resources. And for that, there must be the team is required. If being a manager, if you are not providing the right feedback to your employee is not satisfied with you. And if his employee is not satisfied with you, that means they are not ready to do the work for your organizations, my dear. So it's our duty as a manager, as a top authority, our duty is to take feedback and give feedback also. That is the productive and the constructive feedback. भैया आप ये अभी अच्छा नहीं कर रहे हो, आगे भी अच्छा कर सकते हो. That way, if you are putting your words, definitely the employee feel motivated and he is ready to do the work. So it's a duty of the top authority. They can understand each and every employee properly and try to resolve the conflicts. This is the conflict resolutions. Managing conflicts. See, whenever the peoples joined with each other, they make the team. What is happening? Definitely the conflicts will arises time to time. So how you can resolve this? With the help of this managerial communication, being a officer, being a manager, being a whatever the position you are holding, you will be able to manage conflicts and resolve issue effectively. If you managing conflicts, resolving issues effectively, it should be best for the organization. I am quoting the law of the fuel. What the fuel said? Unity of directions. That means each and every one in the organization, they must think about the betterment of the organizations. So for in that case, managerial communication play a vital role. See, how important the managerial communication for the organization. Whatever organization, either police organization, aviation industry, whatever industry we are running, the important thing is building the trust. So, you have to see here, build trust between managers and the team members. Earlier I have said, no anyone can run organization singly, lonely. They must go with the team and they must believe in the teamwork also. If you are not going to give the faith to your team, team is demotivated. So, if you are going to be communicate to your employee, to your team members become happy. So, it's your duty to build trust. How trust will build? If you are going to be communicated, not only formal communication. Time to time we have to talk with the informal communication also. We share the tea with them. We talk to related to their family members, and that way if you are putting yourself to your employee is going to be get connected. He feel, yes, my sir is very close to me, he is asking about my family members, he is doing something for me. That way you will run your organization successfully. So, second things, improve productivity. I have already discussed managerial communication improves the productivity, and see, clear communication can increase productivity and efficiency. So, what is the meaning of productivity here? Whatever input you are putting and how much output you are getting. If you are putting input too much and getting output less, that is not a productivity. So, being a manager, our duty is to improve productivity, and for that you have to go with the clear communication, what you want, what your organization want. If you are clearly communicating to your team members are liable to do the productivity and efficiency. What they are doing, according to the time they are doing the work. So, my dear, as a manager, our duty is to enhance collaborations between the team works, foster collaborations. If you are collaborating, collaboration means understanding to each other. If you are understanding to each other, that means he understand to you, and win-win situations will created. हम भी जीते, आप भी जीतो, और मिल के जीतेंगे, and then what is happening? Your organization will be the winner. This way you are put yourself good communication, support decision making. Managerial communication provides valuable insights for informed decision making. Without support system, without communications, you are not going to be take the right decisions. So, very important things I am quoting here, that is process of managerial communications. So, why, how the communication is going to be created inside the organization? See, here in these slides you have to see the managerial communication is the process of sending and receiving information among the people. That means those who are inside the organization, right? So, see, the first one is sender. Who is going to be encode the message? Sender. What ideas comes in my mind, I am going to be send to the someone. Who is sender? I am the sender here. I am going to be encode my ideas, and it goes directly through the medium. Whatever medium we are going to be selected, either electronics media, print media, voice, mail, whatever the letter you are going to be provided, that going directly to the receiver. So, being a good communicator, your duty is to write good things so that receiver will able to decode it properly. If they are not able to decode it, how they can understand your feeling, right? So, youngsters are writing letter, love letter to their partner. If their partner doesn't understand what he or she has written in the letter, there is no meaning. This is a meaningless. So, you have to see here, then what is happening? Sender receivers are going to be give feedback, and that is the This is the mechanism of the managerial communication inside the organization. So, it is very, very interesting things. Communication is very interesting. Every day we are communicating, but what communicating, that is important, right? See, okay, effective managerial communications. Managerial communication, we are going to talk managerial communication skill equations, meaning and definitions of managerial communication, uses of effective managerial communication, and 7 C's of effective managerial communication, facts about effective managerial communication. So, already I have discussed the managerial communication definitions. Now, see, this is the very, very important for the communication process. Be a management teacher, be a managers of the any organization, being a top authority of the any organization, you must aware about the managerial communication skill equation. This is equation, my dear, this is equation. So, for what you hear, आप क्या सुनते हैं? Tone of voice is very important. Vocal clarity, that's very important. Verbal expressiveness, it's also important. And you see the 40% of messages the people are gaining through these things. That means what you hear, आपने क्या सुना, क्या भाषा से बोला गया, क्या clarity थी, and what were the verbal expressions, the people's 40% message they are getting. See, your eye is also a sensitive organs. 5 sense organs में एक sense organs, this is the important sense organs, eye. The 50% of messages that should be catched by the eye. See, what you see or feel, आप क्या feel कर रहे हैं? Bad touch, good touch, right? Facial expressions of the people. On the basis of facial expression, you will understand the people are interested in you or not. 50% messages. See, dress and grooming. What is your dress? Dressing sense. Whenever you talk about, yes, Dr. Saroj, Ranjan, professor somewhere, the people are going to be start appraising from bottom to top. What is your dressing sense? And then they will talk, yo jhoot bol raha hai ya sach bol raha hai. So, your packaging play vital role in the communication. You are the professor, you look like professor. You are a doctor, you must look like a doctor. So that the people can understand. वो डॉक्टर है जिसने व्हाइट पहना हुआ है, एक काला जिसने पहना हुआ है वो वकील साहब है, जिसने खाकी वर्दी पहना है पुलिस है. How you will understand? My dear, it is only your eye is going to be work that time. So 50% messages that should be gained through the eye, and the rest 10% of messages जो आप क्या है वो है that is your eye contact, touch and the gestures and what the words you have to listen. किसी ने कोई कह दिया आपने सुन लिया, that is a 10%. So the eye is very important. eye आंखें बयां कर देती है सारी कहानियां, right? ये आंखें हैं और ये कान हैं. Both are the important things. Both are the pillar to understand the managerial communication. So for these things is concerned, you have to come on these things. So I have already discussed meaning and the definition. No need to go through once again. So see, uses of effective communication. What are the use of effective managerial communication? See, has to understand person or situation in a better way. What are the situation prevailed? What types of human being? Are the peoples are good or not? Right? You can understand through their communications. Enables to solve differences, build trust, respect in the organizations. If I am good communicator inside the organization, I will build rapport in my organizations. Yes, I am doing same practices in my organization. Every time I am going to be connected with my staffs and all the colleagues, those who are working with me. And that's why the people recognize me as a good professor. Yes, Dr. Saroj is a very nice person. How? It is only on the basis of building the trust. And how the trust is going to be built? I repeat again, it is only on the basis of the empathy you are going to be show with your employee. That means you have to go with the sensitiveness. Try to understand the feeling of others also. If you are not going to understand, surely you are not going to make a good team. And if you are not going to make a good team, I am telling you facts, you will not able to develop the productivity for your organization. So that is very, very important. See, sometimes our message is misunderstood and misunderstand the received messages. So that create the problems. तो try to go and communicate with that person. जिससे आपकी लड़ाइयाँ हैं, जिससे बात करनी है, you have to go and talk. So effective communication helps to connect well with kids. छोटे छोटे बच्चे. I am in the class, I am taking the class. I am convey my message to my students. But the same message I cannot put in my house because there is a kids. They know me as a father. So being a father, what's my communication? It should be entirely different rather than the class. So being a top level authority, our duty is to maintain that thing. Where you are going to be communicated, what their frequency level, are they are going to understand? I am in the Jharkhand, if you are putting English languages in the local area, nobody is going to understand you. So we are using Nagpuri, Khoratha, the local languages. So we are able to communicate with them, we are going to be attached with them, and then we get the data for the research work. That is important. So effective communication help us to connect well with kids, spouses, boss and colleagues. It helps in the decision making process. Without decision, right decisions. So you will able to take the right decisions. If you are able to take right decision, that communication, yes, that's very important. Now, my dear, see the 7 C's of effective managerial communications. This 7 C is the pillar for the managerial communication process. Number 1, completeness. Number 2, conciseness. Number 3, considerations, clarity, concreteness, courtesy and correctiveness. See, the first is the completeness. What is completeness in managerial communication? See, the information conveyed in the message should be complete for the communication to be effective. Whatever you are going to be communicated, it should be complete, not incomplete word and sentences. The sender must take into consideration the receiver's mindset and convey message accordingly. In Sanskrit, there is a word Satyam Buryat, Priyam Buryat, Na Buryat, Satyam Apriye. सत्य हो लेकिन प्रिय हो, सत्य हो अप्रिय लगे वो हमें नहीं बोलना चाहिए. दिस इज दी इट इज वाज इन द ईरा, भारत में हमारे यहाँ ये पद्धति थी. दैट वाज द भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा. वी आर कम्युनिकेटिंग द राइट थिंग्स टू द राइट पर्सन. अभी क्या बोलना है? आर द पीपल्स आर रेडी, रिसीवर्स माइंड सेट इज रेडी टू रिसीव दैट मैसेजेज और नॉट. I am quoting one example also. Earlier there was a tar system, there was not a telephone, there was not a phone. किसी की अगर माँ और बाप फादर एक्सपायर भी कर जाते थे, they are putting, एक तार भेजता था कि घर आ जाओ तेरी माँ बीमार है. Why they are not putting कि तुम्हारे फादर मर गए? हो सकता है उसको हार्ट अटैक आ जाए, हो सकता है वो प्रॉब्लम में आ जाए. ये हमारी संस्कृति रही है. So that is the completeness. हमें जो बोलना है according to the receiver mindset कि क्या सुनना चाह रहा है वो, किस वे में अपने आप को प्रस्तुत करें, what the way of presentations, that is the important. As a manager आपकी भी ड्यूटी यही है. You have to convey the message, but it should be wrap up, but it should be according to the receiver mindset. See, complete communication enhances the reputations of the organization. Whatever information you want from the organization, you will take it. That is complete information. Always give additional information where the required, it leaves no question in the minds of the receiver. जो मुझे चाहिए, and all the information is in the complete mode. right? That will build up the reputation of the organization. Vinoba Bhave University, if you approach to the Vinoba Bhave University, all the information, the right information they will give to you. To your, suppose some students enrolled in Vinoba Bhave University, they will got the proper complete information about their result and all these things. We people are practicing, we people are using that type of the practices in my organizations. So, through that what is happening? The reputation of VBU is going to be built up. See, conciseness. Conciseness means communicating what you want to convey in the least possible word. Don't use too much words for the convey, right? हमारे ज़माने में, हमारे भारत में आप देखेंगे इशारों में काम चलता था. इशारों को अगर समझो, राज को राज रहने दो. What is that? What does it mean? This is the conciseness, right? So conciseness is necessary for effective communication. Concise communication provides short and essential message in limited words. Not use too much words for the communication. Writing, speaking, very limited, right? सांप भी मर जाए और लाठी भी ना टूटे. There was a phrase in Hindi in our society. सांप को मारना भी है, लाठी भी बचा लेना है. Words भी बोलना है, but it should be right and concise, right? This is called the conciseness. Considerations. Or you have to be considered your audience, their viewpoints, their background also, their mindset and educational levels also. If we are communicating to the graduate people and we are using the very simple words, that is the, you can say it is not a good communication. We are communicating to the higher authority. Suppose I am going to be deliver lecture in the America, we have to use the local language of the Jharkhand, it should not be considerable. So, as a good communicator, what is your duty? You have to go with the proper understanding the environment. What language is required at that time? That is called the considerations. In Hazaribagh, basically I am from Hazaribagh, Jharkhand. Whenever we are going to be approached to the fruit seller and the vegetable seller, if you are using English over there, nobody is going to be give you vegetables, fruits. Bhaiya, ye kaise hai? Right? That way if you talk the Nagpuri language with them, they consider your feeling और उसके बाद ले जा भैया ले जा, ऐसे होगा. That way we are putting. So regional language you can use for the consideration. Clarity is very important in the managerial communication. Whatever you talk, it should be clear, emphasizing on a specific goal, objective at a time, rather than trying to move away from the track. Whatever the track, I am going to be teach you here managerial communication. That's why I am focusing on the communications only. If I am going to be start the teaching of research methodology, that time I cannot use these things. So that is called the track. Whatever the track is going to be given you, you have to complete your task on that track. So clarity helps to understand the message easily. Complete clarity of thoughts and the ideas enhances the meaning of messages. Without clarity, we cannot understand what the sender is saying to me. The sender doesn't send. Yes, we cannot understand the sender message. We are unable to perform the task. So clarity comes with the use of exact, appropriate and concrete words. Whatever words you will select, my dear, it should be very, very concrete. Then you are able to communicate properly. And if you are able to communicate properly, it's directly affect the minds of the person and they are ready to do the productive work inside the organizations. Concreteness is another C. Always keep in mind the 7C whenever you are going to be communicate. See, concrete communication implies being particular and clear rather being fuzzy and the general. See, concrete communication shows good level of confidence. I am too much confident because of I am going to be deliver lecture through the concreteness. Concrete information helps to strengthen the reputations of the organization. Already I have discussed, concrete information can be misinterpreted. Courtesy is very important parts of the managerial communications. Courtesy means polite. Whatever you said, whatever you talk, you must be polite. You must be kind enough, judicious, enthusiastic, and convincing attitudes. Who is the right leader? Leader is the leader who are the good communicators. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, is a good leader because he is a good communicator. They are communicating the thoughts and the ideas through the proper convincing way. Recently, you have gone through the Operation Sindoor. They have communicated properly. Whatever the things going in their mind, they have communicated to the Bharatiya people. So, that is the courtesy. Courtesy is an important element of effective communications. Courtesy reflects the nature and character of the sender of the message. Courtesy, same give respect and then expect the same. Courtesy is not an all bias in the nature. So, being a communicator, you must go through this courtesy. Correctness is another C. Without correctness, there is a meaning of the communication. Correctness is the communication implies that correct information is conveyed through the message, whatever message we have made it. Correct communication boost up the confidence level of the sender, right, and free from grammatical error. There is a big issues, use of appropriate and correct. So, this is the correctness you have to see, right. And in the next class, we have to be talk about the barriers of effective managerial communication. So, today, my dear friends, my dear students, my dear corporate managers, my dear the top authority of the any organizations, I have talked about the managerial communication, how managerial communication is important for you, and how managerial economics is helpful for developing the productivity of the organization. I have defined it properly. I have given the ideas of 7C of the communications, and I hope you understand the feeling of my and this topic. In the next class, definitely I will talk about the barriers of effective managerial communication. Thank you very much for listening patiently and watching me properly. I hope this video, this lecture is useful for you, for your organization. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Namaskar.